ready to get started, folks. Before we start today, we're going to have an invocation. The invocation is going to be a member of our clergy out of our community. And if you want to participate in the invocation, it's fine. If you don't want to participate, that's okay. And it will not have a bearing on the items that you've come to discuss, whether or not you participate. We invite all denominations or religious groups to come in and offer an invocation. All they have to do is call my office and make arrangements for a particular meeting. As we start that, we're going to stand and we're going to have the pledge. And the pledge today is going to be led by Julie Greasy.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
You remain standing, please. We have Reverend Knox Bullock today from the Woodland Bible Church. And Knox, our bicentennial chairman, has had a death in his family, his nephew. And I'd like for you to remember the Sparks family and the Ford family, if you will, please.
Okay. Let's pray. Father, thank you for this day that you've given to us. Thank you for your grace. Thank you for our city of Connersville and for our mayor and this Board of Public Works. Thank you for their willingness to be leaders in our community. And thank you for the good things that are happening. We're asking for your direction and for your help as they make the decisions that affect all of us. And then, Father, we do ask for your help for the Sparks and Ford families. At the time of this death, we pray that you would be with them. May they sense your presence and grace. Once again, be with this meeting and to help everything that is done to be God-honoring, we pray, Father, in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, sir.
Call the meeting to order. First item of business will be roll call.
Jane Oakley, present. Fran Schobel.
Present.
Leonard Urban.
Present.
Mike Bishop.
Present.
Ron Colliron.
Present.
Let the record show that all Board of Works members are present. We have a quorum and we can do business. The next item of business will be reading of the minutes of the last meeting.
Your Honor, I have read the minutes and I'd like to make a motion to approve them as written, please.
I'll second.
We have a motion on the floor to approve the minutes as they were sent out to the board members. Are there any additions or corrections? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. Thank you. Ask everybody to turn off their cell phones, turn their ringers on vibrate. Maybe I better check my own. You have a budget report in your hands. I just handed you. This comes from the Bicentennial Committee. We ask that they present that budget at the second meeting each month, and this being our second meeting that's presented. And I know you just got it. If you'd like to glance at it, see if there's any burning questions. The first 4 pages are projected income. Julie and I serve on the budget committee for the bicentennial, and when we were doing the budgets, we pretty much stayed away from income because of rain, because of not knowing what the crowd might be, how hot it is, how cold. But they did go through this last 2 weeks and put some very conservative projected income numbers in there, just so that you could see that we are running well ahead of the budget, that the city is not going to end up at the end of this celebration owing money. The last 4 pages of the budget report is the items that the money has been spent on. At this point, there's some 112 different things that are going to happen in 10 days. Some of them are quite major and some of them are kind of minor.
These concerts, are they free or people buy tickets? So
Some of them are almost free. Most of them are very reasonable, $2, $4.
this one over 42,000.
Yeah.
Can you remember what the fee for that is?
So $15 then?
Then there are some that are more expensive, like some like a preferred seating, it was
Yes.
25, weren't they? Or
They're
30.
they're prorated according to what it costs to get the group in here.
Okay.
But we tried to keep everything at a minimum cost so people could participate. Any questions? I know you're reading, but that's okay.
Income will be 143,000.
Remember, that's projected income.
Okay.
That's after all the bills are paid.
Okay.
I have Eddie Harold, the vice chairman here, if you'd like to ask him any questions.
What is the orphan girl? I should know that, but I think you
Eddie,
don't.
will you come to the podium, please, so that everybody...
I'm sorry, Your Honor, I don't know what that is.
He'll tell you.
That is a production that's being planned for late September. It's like an interactive play that will be performed in the James Roberts Building.
More for kids, isn't it?
No,
I thought it was for kids.
no, it's for adults.
Okay. Is it by local people?
Bobby Clark is,
Okay.
and Linda Ward is working on that.
Is that what we're calling the pageant?
No, pageant will be the Saturday and Sunday night, first Saturday and Sunday of
In the
in the amphitheater.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
We're in the black, right?
Yes, Julie and I, we look at it every 2 weeks, every other Tuesday, and we are in the black real good. We're not going to allow it to be in the red.
Well, I move we accept this report.
Second. I'll second.
Further discussions or questions? Jane, did you see anything in there that's...
Okay. No, Donna just answered my question.
Ronnie?
No, just a comment, from what I've seen from that bicentennial committee, it's a great undertaking and they're doing a tremendous job.
Well, thank you.
They really are.
They are, that's right.
It's a lot of work.
It's
Well, I can report to you the first two things that we've had. We had the elders luncheon, it was about 300 strong. It went without a hitch, and then we had the Taste of Connersville Friday evening. It went without a hitch, and it was very, very well attended. Everybody enjoyed it, so things are starting to happen. I have a motion on the floor to accept the bicentennial report. I have a second. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. Thank you. Thanks, Eddie. We have a request to hang a banner for United Way. Jennifer Harris. State your name and your address, Jennifer, and then we'll get it on the record.
Jennifer Harris, 428 Water Street is the United Way address. Do you need my home address or leave my?
Nope, that's fine.
We are beginning our campaign on July 1st through September 31st, and we'd like to request a banner to be hung downtown for 2 weeks during that time, July 8th through the 22nd. I spoke to Melissa with it, the dates are open.
I move that we grant permission for the United Way to hang their banner those dates, July 8th to 22nd.
I'll second.
Have a motion and a second to allow that banner to be hung. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Get with the street superintendent, he'll tell you what you gotta have to,
No, this is a hanging the banner.
yeah, but he has to get it
Oh,
from
okay, I
over.
thought you told me it was a bucket.
All right. We have a like request to change an alley beside 322 Central Avenue from two-way to one-way eastbound to the center of the alley. Colleen, will you come up and explain it?
Hello.
Aye.
Hi. Colleen Frank, Independence Title and Escrow, and it's 318 North Central.
It's right on the north of the Speedway gas station.
Right.
I didn't know that till today, but I know it now.
Well, you should come down and see my sidewalks. They just put new sidewalks in.
I saw the
Very
sidewalks.
nice.
I thought Gary Smith put them in.
No, me and Gary both.
Okay.
I have copies for you.
Yes, I think it'd be well that we look at it. Although, you know, this
Thank
is
you.
something we can't do, but we can recommend it to city council, but
Okay.
it's an ordinance change and it'll have to go to city council.
Okay.
I know which one you're talking about.
I believe there has to be a public hearing too.
Yeah. I don't know if we have, do you have a public hearing, John?
I believe so.
Okay, what I propose is that we do a one-way alley going east. I said west, but it's east. Basically turning off of Central and going into the alley there. The speedway that's located beside my building has 3 or 4 different exits out of Speedway and entrance to Speedway. But what happens is people tend to use the alley to come out, and my building has been damaged. People have hit my building, actually a couple times now. And then Gary Smith has witnessed when Ken Sears owned the building, a semi actually taking the porch off. And that's when they're coming out of westbound onto Central. So my proposal is that we turn it just to eastbound. Also, we ran into situations where we have someone coming out of the alley and someone turning into the alley, then it backs up traffic on Central. And a lot of times, there's like 2 or 3 cars behind the person in the alley, so they won't back up, so you have to back up and get onto Central. Another reason is my building is a blind spot for pedestrians. When they come across the sidewalk, people coming out of that alley, they're not seen. It also acts as a blind spot for cars coming out of the alley onto Central because of the cars that can park in front of our buildings there. So it's kind of a dangerous situation for pedestrians and for vehicles in my building. They tend to drive over the sidewalks also, and with the expense that we put into the sidewalks, I'd like them to stay that way, stay in good condition and not broke down over time. So what I propose is that we put a one-way sign, if not on my building, but right on the side of my building, so it tells people this is a one-way, do not enter to the left.
One-way eastern.
Right. And there's actually a 4-way stop sign at the alley there, and we're just proposing it to the stop sign.
The
Not all
east
the
of
way
the
through.
north-south alley that intersects with.
Right.
Okay.
Right,
Okay, so you could go west in the alley from eastern over to the 4-way stop.
right.
What I'd like to do on this, I'd like to pass this and then I'd ask the police chief to study it and recommend it to the city council. That's okay with you?
I have one question. It's been a while since I've been in that alley, but
Okay.
does Speedway did they used to have a fence there or some kind of a barricade and they torn that down too?
No, there's no
There's
guardrail
nothing.
there.
There's no guardrail there at all, and if there was, I'm not aware of it.
So my question would be, if we do make it a one-way, what would keep them from just driving over in the middle, over into that alley and go out the wrong way?
I still have to go east, that's all she's asking to do is
Yeah,
go
I
east.
know that, but they can't see it if they've been to the gas station, they can't see the one-way sign if it's out in front of
Mayor.
your office.
No, I'm talking about the side of my building, when you're coming out of the,
You'd have to put she's saying you'd have to put a one-way sign if they come out to that alley, because there's no guardrail there. It'd have to be a one-way sign pointing
Oh,
going
okay,
east.
I got you.
Which I can understand her
I
situation,
see
because
what
we
she's
have
saying.
had some accidents there in the past, and people pulling out, it's kind of a blind spot.
Excuse me.
And people tend to want to jog over there to get out of there.
So you want to put the sign on the side of your building there?
yes, and right here is the side of my building in Speedway, people come from here. Yeah, let's just put a sign
Well, we
right
can't put
here.
we can't put a sign on your building, but we put a post there.
Yeah, a post, a post.
That's what
But
prompted
it's still
my
have to be
question.
marked on the
It's supposed to
street,
be
and also
a
do not
fence
enter
right
sign
here.
from there.
Since we
Years
can't
ago,
make
there
this
used to be a little
decision,
fence
I'd like to refer it to the council, and
Doesn't
I'll
matter.
have David
It's
recommend
a good
it,
idea.
if it's okay.
Yes, I think it'd be.
I'll make the motion, Your Honor, that we honor this request to make this alley a one-way street running east and west on 318 Central Avenue, and propose to send it on to council for their approval.
I'll second.
Motion and a second. Any further discussion? Anybody out there come here to discuss it today?
Good idea.
Anybody at all?
I was here to support my neighbor, and I think she did a thing.
I won't listen to you unless you're, if you was against it, we'd listen to you, but since you're for it, well, I'm kidding you.
There'll be a charge.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? We'll send it on to council. That will be, I don't know, can we do it tonight, John? We can do it tonight.
We have to set up a public hearing.
Okay, but we can set up the public hearing tonight.
Tonight, we can have the hearing.
Thank you for coming.
Good luck.
Thank you. Okay, thank you.
Take it easy.
Yeah, I didn't know she was. I was thinking she was going to.
Request for 5K run, Lap Ministries, Brook Bell. Who's Brooke and who's Bell? Just state your names and your address so she can hit the record.
My name is Brooke Bell,
I'm Miranda Hartwell.
and the church address is 2752 West State Road 44. And we have papers for you guys that
That's
talk
what we
about.
like, papers.
More papers.
We are proposing a 5K for our Second Lap Ministries. That will run over by Grandview and down, and we can go into that. We usually have what's called a Freedom in Christ out at our church every year. And with the bicentennial, during that time, we're not doing that. So we would like to use a 5K to help raise money to help support our Second Lap Ministries, which give away backpacks to kids that can't afford them. We are asking for permission to do the 5K starting behind Western Avenue Baptist Church that has given us permission to use their parking lot for registration and our activities, their back parking lot. It would run all the way down Vermont, Iowa to 20th Street, jog over to Vermont, down 17th, over, to 18th, sorry, and then we would jog over and come all the way back up. There's a few jogs down Virginia, down Park Avenue and back up to get our 3 miles in. We're not asking any,
Get that to the chief, will you please?
I talked to David, we're not asking for any additional
Did I
police
talk to
work.
you?
Yes,
Okay, I think we did go to 17th Street because it's going to be a straight shot over
Yeah.
Ohio Avenue.
Yeah.
Okay. And then Ohio, you had the option to go down Park Road on the sidewalk, or you can go up
well, Park
Ohio
Avenue, yeah,
to,
okay.
see what I'm saying?
24th Street to Virginia and back down, I think is what we were
Okay.
talking about doing,
Okay,
to
good.
Park Avenue.
Just get, we talked about this earlier, about 2 or 3 weeks ago, and we'll work it out, but I
Okay,
am.
that's the day before the Shrine Fair Parade, so you'll have to have enough manpower for both days.
Okay.
We're not asking for any additional police,
Honey,
we're asking
You-
for,
You have.
We have to have it, we have to see that
Okay.
you're safe.
okay,
It's a safety issue.
for safety, okay.
Yeah,
We're not asking for them to block off any roads, is where I was getting for that, so,
All right. I just want him to know, because he will have to have some officers up there to be sure you're safe. Okay, what's your pleasure?
Make a move to approve the 5K run for the New Heights Christian Church. I'm sure, what was the date of that?
July 27th.
July 27th, with approval of Ashley, Mr. Council.
I'll second.
Have a motion and a second to allow that to happen. Is there any discussion from any out there? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. Thank you, girls.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We have a request to close Central Avenue from 5th to 6th Streets on July 14th for Ozzy's
969.
and Marlene Grimes. Marlene? Hi, Marlene.
Okay, that's fine.
You will state your name, your address for the record here.
My name's Marlene Grimes, and I'm here for Ozzy's and the American Legion Riders.
Cal LaSalle, I'm the director of the American Legion Riders. Our post address is 902 Eastern Avenue.
Okay, tell the board what you want to do, guys.
We would like to block the street off from 5th Street to 6th Street on Central on July 14th. This is for our annual NASCAR Foundation Cruise for Kids benefit. And this year, we are also including the American Legion Riders benefit on that day.
Is that a Sunday?
Yes.
That's on Sunday.
And where do the hours you're wanting?
We would like to have the streets blocked off at 8 a.m. until the end of the benefit. Right now, we don't have an ending to the benefit yet.
It'll probably be from like 8 to 8, somewhere right in that area.
8 to 8 in the evening?
Yes. What we're gonna do is it'll start off as a bike and car show. From that, it will go to a cruise for kids, is what we call it. And what that is we'll have the motorcycles in the front, and then people that have vehicles in the car show are welcome to go on the cruise. We'll just parade through whatever route we decide to go. And then that way we've got the street blocked when we come back. We always have someone ready to move the barricades to allow the motorcycles back into the street where they're safely parked.
Have you guys talked to Counselor about that?
Not yet, we wasn't sure of that. We're a new chapter. We just actually got our chapter. We've done this for the last 2 years, but now that we've got the American Legion Riders started, we're doing it through them because we are a 501(c) organization.
Any questions, board?
We do have a few questions. Vendors, if we have vendors out on the street, are there any special permits that's required by us as an organization or as the people that want to be the vendors?
What will they be selling?
We've got one that's wanting to sell leather.
We like vests, jackets, chaps, different vest accessories, motorcycle accessories.
I think if you give them permission to use the street, they could pretty much have vendors on there.
Is that right, Mr. Baker?
Could they, John?
I believe so.
We have an outdoor sales ordinance that's on the books.
Right, that allows open lot sales and outside sales, yeah. And the merchants many times put things out on the sidewalks and sell them, so that's not
The
uncommon.
only difference here is we're closing the street for the 8 hours too.
Right.
The vendors that we're talking about do have, most of them are affiliated with the American Legion Riders at other chapters. They do have a store license because they do have a store at their hometown. And what we're trying to do is just to merge and get more people involved with the Cruise for Kids.
The insurance applications under the new laws, John, do we have to have disclaimers or anything like that?
Well, always issues of insurance. And I suspect our insurance agent would request that you have liability insurance, and I suspect you do.
Yeah, well, we do through the American Legion. I have to find out exactly how that is. Like yesterday, we had our first ride yesterday. It was called a fun run that we done out of the American Legion. And for an example, we had 77 motorcycles in that parade.
Well, what he's saying is we would need a copy of your liability.
Okay, insurance policy,
Right,
liability
yeah.
insurance policy.
If they're not sure what you want, they can call Mr. Baker's office.
Well, what we need, since you're going to be closing city property and using that city property for your purposes, is a certificate of insurance showing your insurance coverage, your liability insurance coverage, and naming the city as an additional insurance.
Okay.
It's a very easy thing to do. It's not nearly as difficult as you might think. Just talk to your insurance agent about it. And you need to provide that certificate to me or to the mayor's office or to Julie Greason.
And all of these would too, since you're a co-sponsor.
Right.
Okay? We gotta be sure that you're covered and that you named us as being covered in case someone would get hit on the street or something happened. Okay?
And we make all of our registrants sign a waiver as well, to cover us.
That would be good, and if you did, I'd like to have copies of them.
Okay.
What, I hate to say this, but what is Ozzy's? What is Ozzy's?
Ozzy's is the bar across the street.
You've done
My
this.
sister-in-law, this will be our third year. I've done it for the last 2 years, just as, I'm an ambassador for the NASCAR Foundation as well. And we was looking for some place to do a benefit for the NASCAR Foundation to send some kids to the Victory Junction camp. And my sister-in-law owns Ozzy's, and she said, you guys are welcome to do it here, so we've done it. And then now, since we've got a charter through the ALR, we've decided to let the ALR take it over.
But there's no alcohol involved in this particular event, right?
Inside the bar. There will be
Not out on the
there will be
street.
none
Not
out
on
on
the
the
street,
street.
no.
None out
You
on
can
the street.
assure us of that. There'll be
Yes.
There will be no alcohol out on the
Yes.
street.
Thank you.
Nobody
That's one
can do
thing we
that
will
on the street
monitor.
Unless they go through the.
We will not allow
You actually have to go through the excise, alcohol, and tobacco
Right.
commission.
Fully
to get
understand
special
that.
permits for that.
But really, John and I went to a seminar on that, and they've loosened the laws. Anybody can get a permit.
Well, I think it's a good thing what they're doing. I don't have a problem with it.
I'm ready for discussion here. Over, make a decision.
I move we accept. We don't have a motion on the floor right now.
No, we don't. I don't
How many
think.
riders do you expect?
Is there a
I
second?
look for it to be bigger than yesterday's, and like I said, we had 77 riders yesterday, and that was our very first one.
Right.
And we've actually coincided this date with a chapter out of Indianapolis, chapter 495. They've got a member that owns some property in Brookville, and they're having a big weekend deal down there. It's a benefit that they're doing. It's a hog roast and stuff that they're doing Friday and Saturday. So we're gonna go down and support them with that, and then they're bringing all their chapter members here to help us.
Do the proceeds go to disabled vets or what?
This benefit here will actually be, the one that they're doing is going to Operation Comfort Warrior.
Okay.
And then this one that we're actually doing this day will go to the NASCAR Foundation.
The Cruise for Kids.
What we are, as the LR, we do any charity that the American Legion has a resolution on, we follow their guidelines.
I'll second the motion, Your Honor.
We have a motion and a second. Any more discussion? Anybody out there have any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very
I'll
much.
be sure and get what Mr. Baker needs from him.
Okay,
Okay.
great.
Thank you.
Get with me 3 or 4 minutes, okay?
We have 3 transfers, E, F, and G. I think you've all had time to look at. The first one's a motor vehicle. We're changing from fringe benefits to $500 to unemployment. Mayor, we're going from promotion into premium bond. The bond was more than we budgeted. Both Melissa and I have to be bonded. Not sure why I don't have any money. Julie won't even let me carry it over to her office. But
Just have a bad reputation.
I got a bad reputation. My wife don't let me have money either. And then we got a transfer from postage into insurance, $25 in cable TV. If it's okay with you, I'll take all 3 of those resolutions at the same time. I have permission for that?
Yes.
Anybody object? Then I'll take a motion to do it.
Make a motion to accept the resolutions 2013-23, or 21 through 23.
I'll second.
A motion to accept all 3 transfers, resolutions 2013-21, 2013-22, 2013-23. Any further discussion? Anybody out there? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. We got behind in the company out in Iowa, and we found out they had 3 police cars, pretty nice shape, well within our means, and we have jumped on that, and they were originally asking us $31,000 for 3. We've got them down to $28,000. I'd like a resolution to ask the council to do an additional preparation out of the general fund to pay for those police cars. This is the only way we have of getting police cars. This would make all of our police cars not more than 10 years old. And that's what we're striving to do. They also come with all the equipment. The light bar on top alone is almost $5,000. 2 of them have push bars on the front. They're $1,700 a piece. They have shotgun racks. The cages in the back are built in. It's just a good deal. Stand up there, Chief of Police.
Please.
We can't buy them because we don't have the money, but I'd like to recommend to the council.
What would a new car like this cost?
Put it like that?
Yes.
Oh, you're probably talking about $35,000 to $40,000.
Wow.
And,
But they are
this is-
used.
This is the same deal we had last
Yeah.
time. We bought 5 last time, and the dealer was so kind, he got 3 more in. This community where they come from, it's next to Des Moines, Iowa, it's a very, very good economical location. The city's big and everything. They trade their cars every 2 years.
What year are these vehicles?
08s and 109.
Thank you.
There's 2 Fords and 1 Chevy, and they're in excellent shape. They got low miles, and like I said, they got light bars and all the stuff, and we've got counting the gear that's on them and everything else. You're probably talking $3,000 to $4,000. All we have to do is put our radio in and put our door markings and go. And the dealer dealt with us last time. They came available, these 3 did, and he thought of Connorsville. He had 2 departments in Texas wanting them at the price he was asking. originally. And so, we got him down and a few $1,000s, and since he sold to us last time, he felt he'd give us a shot first, and even if he did not quite get what he wanted.
Okay, well, I move we approve the purchase of 3 police cars and request City Council additional appropriation of $28,000 to pay for them.
I'll second.
Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, while he's standing up there along that same line, we will have, when we get these 3 cars, we'll have about 30 cars. Excuse me, we'll have 36 cars. I'm proposing that we take the oldest, and he's got a list of them there, 6 cars. I have made a deal with Gross Auto Sales, trade those 6 police cars. After we strip the equipment, we're gonna strip light bars, shotgun racks, cages. We're gonna trade those police cars. They're all 10 to 13 years old, to Gross, and we're gonna trade for a 2007 Buick Lucerne with 44,000 miles on it. We're gonna trade even, and I propose that you give me permission to do that. The Lucerne's probably worth $10,000, $12,000. He is trading us, he put a value of $4,900 and how much?
$49.97.
$4,997 in the police cars. Remember, these are the police cars we bought. I'm ashamed almost to say it, for $1,100 a piece when we bought them from Carmel. And we've used them for 3 or 4 years.
How many are there, Mayor? I'm
Permission-
sorry. How many
6.
police cars? 6?
6 of them.
6, okay, thank you.
We're gonna keep 3 of the best cars for pool cars and allow the traffic, what's his name,
Dick.
Mr. O'Neill to drive one of those. So if a car is down or being oil changed, we'll have 3 pool cars. I want to get down to where we don't have so many cars to insure. So I need a motion to accept that, if you'll accept.
I'll make that motion, Your Honor, to trade these 6 police cars in for this 2007 Buick Lucerne. If that's all you need on the motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
Second. Oh, I'm sorry, Jane second.
I got a second. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. Thank you.
I think that's being proactive. I really do.
Okay, we're down to the utility department. Man, that was quick. I'm trying to beat Fran's record. I don't think I can ever do it. I don't know how he does it.
We're already 10 minutes over.
How does he do it?
He don't know what to
If I told you I'd have to put you in the closet and swallow the key.
That's a new one.
We'll make it quick. I laid in front of you before the meeting, reports that I got on replacing some skimmer bars down to the wastewater plant. We actually checked with 3 places, 2 of them here locally, one declined to submit a bid on it, and Lake Innovative Group seems to be the local person that can fabricate those and install us for the cheapest. I laid that up just right before the meeting, Mayor.
How long do these usually last, Joe?
Well, these have been in there since 1974.
Wow.
And most of our tanks down there have got these skimmer bars. And I actually included in our last rate study monies to replace those over a period of time. So this year, we just want to get a couple tanks done.
I move we, you got some more of this?
Pardon me?
Do you have more on this one right here? I mean, it's a no-brainer. Lake also has a warranty, quicker delivery.
Yes.
You're recommending we take Lake?
Allied Lock, we got a quote from them, and they actually have to order them from a company and then they'll resell them. Ling Welding, which has done some work for us before, they declined to bid on it. And we had Lake do some of our primary tanks last year, turned out fine. Them being local, it can get them done a little quicker, plus a little warranty on it, seems to be best value.
Explain to me what a skimmer bar is. Why do you look at me like I'm supposed to know? Since the meeting's gone 10 minutes over, now I don't care.
At the effluent end of each one of our tanks at the wastewater plant, our primary tanks and our secondary tanks, anything that floats on the surface of the water, these skimmer bars, you can skim it off and send it back to the headworks for retreatment. So it collects anything that
So it's a
floats.
big long bar that,
Yeah, they got slots cut in them where you can dip them in the water and skim off top of water and send everything back to the headworks.
and these that we got down there are worn out.
Yeah, they've been wore out for quite a while.
They're fast worn out.
And I hope to eventually replace all of them. We've done the primaries
So
last
this
year.
has to come out of sewer.
This will come out of sewer.
That's
Sewer
where we got it.
depreciation.
What's your pleasure?
It's the lowest quote, I think we go with Lake Innovation.
Well, it's also hometown.
Sure. 13,954. So I'll
Is
make
that
that
the motion?
motion. Yes.
I'll second.
A motion to accept the bid from Lake Innovative Group to buy the new skimmer bars for down at the utility. Is there any further discussion?
No, just in support of Bill, I've seen some of this stuff down there, and I'm kind of glad it's getting replaced. There's several things, that, a little bit at a time.
We've made some pretty good strides in
We
that.
really have, yeah.
It would
And
behoove
making more.
everyone to go down and just
Well,
take
I've
a
been
look.
down there, but he never showed me the skimmer bar.
Yeah. Well, you won't get dirty.
Partially not there anymore.
Because they're phantoms, aren't they?
All in favor, say aye. Any opposed? Motion carried.
And realistically, that's about the only way that we can do it, just lower the time and try to keep the cost down. I guess speaking of the wastewater plant, the blower that we talked about several meetings ago, I'm gonna meet with a couple representatives from Roots down there tomorrow. They've not been able to find any way to market that existing blower down there that's basically obsolete. So we really need to pull that thing out of there and just get rid of it. So I'm thinking of maybe just basically doing what we did, getting quotes from some of the scrap yards and.
I had a guy call me this morning that specializes in that. I got the name on my desk, I'll give it to you. And he specializes in taking your kind of places apart. I don't know, where, Harmon, Jim Harmon?
Hewins?
Huh?
Was it Hewins?
I'll give you the number, you can talk with the guy.
Have you talked to Puckett? Bob Puckett?
I've not talked to anyone about it yet.
It is a roots blower.
It's a roots blower, it's just that the configuration of that particular blower apparently is not very marketable.
How big is it?
It's a 14-inch blower, it's, I don't know, maybe as big as from here to the wall.
It's a big outfit.
It's
Not
huge.
something we could put in a museum here.
No, Mayor.
I mean,
That one's not that old.
Oh, it's not.
Unfortunately, it's only 16, 18 years old, so
But it's wore out?
it's not wore out, it's just way oversized and we'll never use it.
It's not.
I don't know if he still does it or not, Bill, but Bob Puckett could take that thing apart and put it back together with his eyes closed.
Bob's done a lot of work for us on the old blowers we have down there.
If he still does it, I don't know if he's in the business or not, but
And I guess, if we're considering putting another blower down to wastewater plant, which we are, we really need someplace to put it. It's true, we could find a place, someplace else down there to put it, but, you're left with some of this obsolete equipment that's just gonna be sitting around and.
Well, they've given us a good deal on this, so.
But they really, they're gonna support us in some of the stuff to install the new
that's
blower.
good.
And this will be very efficient, right?
And it'll be a lot quieter than anything we have down there, and it'll supply our needs for years to come. So,
What do you want from us? Just permission to pursue it?
just permission to pursue it and see what I can come up with as far as a plan to get rid of that old obsolete equipment down there.
I'll make that motion, Your Honor, that we allow Bill to proceed with trying to find something to do with this old blower. Hopefully we can get scrap parts out of it or somebody could salvage it.
Before I do anything, I'll come back to the board and let them know what
I have a second on that motion.
I'll second that.
Any discussion further? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Carried.
I'll give you an update on the Grand Avenue project. we've got everything submitted and everything's on track. I actually went to NDOT last Wednesday and talked to someone because we still have not received some of our work plans. But those are now taken care of. So everything's on track for that project to proceed forward.
Have we got that pavement total?
Well, we haven't got a final answer from NDOT, but
I signed something this morning, the NDOT sent me in. It came through Westlow's. Are you aware of that?
was it a right-of-way agreement? by
Yes,
any
yeah,
chance?
that's what it
Okay.
was.
Well, that's a requirement for the project.
Okay.
And, but as far as the pavement, the submittals are in, but we haven't got a written response back from NDOT. We've been given every indication that's okay, but I don't have anything in writing.
That's that $22,900 bill job we're working on. And did you send that back or did you give it to Bill?
I sent it back, Jeremy.
You give Bill a copy?
I will when we're done.
Okay. I should have checked with you this morning, but I was busy.
I know it's been busy morning, but anyway. 95% complete on the design. As soon as we get the comments back from NDOT, we'll finish up the design and we have to have those submitted by July 1. Everything is on track for an October 11th. One other thing that I have is we have 3 old vehicles at the utilities that I just need to get rid of this thing. We've had them sitting around forever, and I've got a couple of offers from 2 different car dealerships here in town to purchase those. It looks like Gross is going to give us $1,300 for the 3 cars if this board so chooses. Got that from Gross, and then one from Hayden Motors. They've offered $1,100 for the 3. We just need to get rid of them. They're of no value to us, and they're just taking up space. And
In fact, they're gonna have to be towed out of there.
yeah, I don't think any of them runs now.
They all cars, Bill, all 3 of
There's
them.
2. There's a 98 and a 99 Taurus and a 96 Dodge Dakota truck.
That's got 1,000,000 miles on
Yeah,
it.
they've all got a lot of miles on
It's
them.
for 1,100 and 1,300.
1,100 and 1,300, yes. And that's slightly above junk prices. That's all it is.
I'd go with 1,300.
Is that a motion?
Yes.
Will they come and get them, Bill? We don't have to pay to all of them.
No, they'll come and get them.
I'll second.
Got a motion on the floor to sell those 3 junk cars down, I shouldn't say it, those 3 wonderful cars down there, down at the utility, to Gross Auto Sales for how much, Bill?
$1,300.
$1,300. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. I was going to say something, but I don't know what I was going to say. Thanks.
I have a question. The new mower, was it delivered and was roll bar protection put on, roll protection?
It should be delivered probably right now.
Okay, and they
Supposed
were able to
pick it
get
up
a
at 1
roll,
o'clock today.
roll cage?
Yeah, I ended up getting a rollover protection for $150.
$150.
Great.
Where'd you get it?
Through there.
Through them? That was good.
Yeah.
You
It's
saved us
amazing how
money.
money talks, isn't it?
Well, I put the street paving down in front of you there, but you can see that.
Okay, I want to talk a little bit about this. As you know, Bill and John and I have been negotiating with this company on these meters. We have pushed the issue, and I think you all have a letter in your packet. Did they all get a letter?
No.
Okay, I got the letter here. And basically what they're telling us is they want to stick with the original warranty that they'll furnish brand-new readers to put into these. My contention, and I think I've got John convinced, and maybe Bill, that giving us new meters or new readers is not going to help us because we find that they keep going bad. And it's a labor issue with us. We've got to go in and take them out and put the next one in, take them out, and they continually go bad. We're asking for a financial settlement, and we'll go to the reader that we want to go to. They have agreed to meet with us in a place, I don't know what that means, convenient to them and convenient to us. Is that in Arizona, or what does that mean?
To be determined, I
To be
guess.
determined. I still think that Bill and John and I should meet face to face with these people and try to explain why we don't you know, the warranty's not worth the paper it's written on, because they're still going bad, and we know they're gonna go bad.
Right.
And they're going out of business, so what are we doing 2.5 years? How many are bad right now, 100?
Probably a couple hundred, and that's just a guess.
Yeah. Why would we wanna keep doing this? We need to get some kind of cash settlement and get out of it.
Yes.
I don't think this requires any action from you, but I did want you to know what we're trying to do, unless you have a different idea.
I agree with you. It's labor intensive.
I'm in full agreement with.
John, you're in agreement, we need to meet with them?
Oh, yes, we do.
Okay. All right, well, that's what we're gonna do then. Any of you wanna read this letter? Why don't you make them each a copy so they can see it? I thought it was in the packet. We just got it, I think, today. What else you got, Bill?
I believe that's it.
You got your water report in front of you. Any questions on the blue water report? And all of you know that the new water rate goes into effect July 1st. The city council agreed they were not going to consider raising the water in 2013 other than the second half of the 2012 increase. Your sewer report's in yellow, second page. And your stormwater is on the last page here. And then if you look at your graph on the last page, I personally think we should not do the sprinkling ordinance. However, I'm just one. It cost the city $40,000 last year, and Bill's telling me the average ratepayer saves $6. Is that right, Bill?
That's on average, yeah.
What is it you're talking about, Your Honor? We don't have a copy of that.
Is that renewable every year?
No, but you can rescind it if you want to. The council has to
Yeah, I
do
was gonna
it.
say, that's council's action.
Now, you have this packet in. Oh, you don't have the graph?
No.
It just shows a comparison. I only got one copy.
That's
I
fine.
should have had that all put in.
That's fine.
I'll have her make that for you too. But anyway, you could recommend to the council that, you know, if you want to, or just stay away from it, it's their business. But,
You gonna recommend to the council that they?
now I think you and I probably ought to take care of that since we're on the council. I don't know if you want to, or just leave it, but it does cost the city $40,000, and it doesn't save the average payer very much money.
We'll get some information from Bill that it doesn't save people.
Can you get that for us by tonight? Some figures?
I'll get you some.
That'd be fine.
Okay.
Bill, I was wondering on your claims, what's the trash overcharge? We had two of them for $787.50. Where, how?
You beat me to it, Fran.
Actually, we had two customers that, by placing these totes, we didn't realize, but back in 2003, they had signed a request to drop the second trash charge, because they had an apartment and a business, so they dropped one of them, and we never did take that charge off of their billings. So the receipts that you see there is reimbursing them for the overcharges for the last 10 years.
I thought we were only allowed to go back two.
According to our council, we need to go back.
Okay, I'm sorry, John, I thought that we could only go back two when we had to make a
No, we owe them the money. It was taken erroneously, and they should equitably be paid back.
Okay.
It just can't hard to believe that slipped through the cracks for 10 years unnoticed.
Wow. Okay.
And it probably would still be if it wasn't for the votes being put in place.
Okay.
So that's it for now.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you, Bill.
Bill. Thanks for going down to the.
Thank you, Jeff.
Before we get into claims here, on the 14th of June, we will have the dedication of the Roberts Building. I would like all of you to be present. Open house is from 5 to 7, and the ceremony's at 6:30. They're pouring the concrete up there today. They'll be blacktopping. The inside is, for all practical purposes, done. They're just, John's working inside there, setting some nails and doing some trim work, patching, touching up. But for all practical purposes, the place is pretty much done. We're doing the outside, we're pouring the sidewalks and stuff like that. We would like to get the outside trim around the windows painted, and I hope we can make it by June 14th.
What was the time?
The ceremony's at 6:30, and Judge Flum and Diane, on behalf of the Bicentennial Committee, are heading that ceremony up. They've got different participants. It's only going to last 30 minutes. It's all local people that were interested in 4-H when it was the 4-H building are going to be there. It's going to be a nice event. That's a Friday night. There'll be hot dogs, potato chips, and cold drinks free for those that come. And we invite you all to be there, especially this Board of Works needs to be there to show people around and talk about the building. Okay. Now you go ahead into your claims.
I need to ask a chief.
Oh, I'm sorry, I missed public forum. We got anybody out there want to speak?
Yes.
We got all kinds. You come first. Come on.
Let me, I need to apologize. This is Mr. Langdon Cumler, and I was supposed to put him on the agenda today, and I forgot.
You made a mistake.
I made a mistake. We had a meeting about a week and a half ago.
Let the
and I
record
told him
show
I
I
was
made a
gonna-
mistake.
Anyhow, Langdon, I apologize, but yes.
My name's Langdon Cumler, and my address is 5550 Central, Indianapolis, Indiana. And in the 09 auction, tax sale, I had two properties that I got in that sale, got the tax certificates on. And my understanding was from that date on, for a year, I wasn't allowed to go on the properties or to say anything to anybody or do anything. They did not redeem them, and so I applied for a tax deed, which I received. I came in, I paid all the back taxes on the properties, and the judge gave me the deed in March of 2011. I just received this year's tax bills, and one bill was $4,031.50. The tax on the property was $618. The weed lien was $3,500. And that's the first I heard of it. Nobody told me they were cutting the grass, nobody did anything. Now, when I got the properties, I hired an outfit here in town, a landscaper, to cut it. And they cut it every other week for $35 a time. And I paid them, and I have the records to prove it. Neatly Trimmed is the name of the outfit. If I owe to pay the city to pay for the lawn, I'm not sure when or where you get it, because all I have is this one statement. The other thing is, I can't believe that the city's got such, it'll be $3,500 to cut the grass.
This is 701 West Fifth, right, is the property in it?
Oh, that's one, I have two of them.
Oh, okay.
This
Well,
one's
Yeah, the one that
Oh,
caught Ron's attention was the one on Fifth Street.
right, the people were here stating,
Yeah.
Did you purchase those on tax sale, sir?
Hmm.
What
Was it
date did you
09?
purchase them?
09.
09? These were all mowed in 10.
So they were
So
mowed
they
in
were mowed in
that
the
period of
period
time, and I
when-
couldn't go on the property.
Yeah.
And
We've
the guy
had
didn't
that,
redeem it.
we've
so-
had that issue before. What have we done? I forget what we've done.
We've taken them all.
We've forgiven them.
That's a bad deal, because you paid all your back taxes when you got the property.
Right.
And then the 2-year or the year interval, nobody takes care of it, so we gotta go in there and take care of it. And the reason it's so high, we don't wanna be in the mowing process.
I understand that.
So we make it very
If I
high.
had that kind of money, I think I'd want to be in
We don't wanna be in the mowing business.
But if you
So you want us to remove the or not the taxes, you want us to remove the weed liens. We can't remove the taxes, can we?
No,
It's not our-
I paid the taxes. I just paid the main taxes, and
What's your intention with those properties?
I've sold both of them. One's on contract on Fifth Street, those are the people that came in. And the other one's pending and should close next month, the one in Iowa. It's a cash transaction. I just went by there today and they're cutting the yard.
Both of them?
They didn't cut it a good file when I came down and talked to Ron, and they hadn't cut it, so I got after them and cut the yard.
You didn't want more than we
How much is the weed lien, sir, that's against the property?
Well, the weed lien against Iowa is $3,547.30. I didn't ask the treasurer at the time to break it out for me on this one, but it's, evidently it's like 675. It's 675, and I have trouble reading it because there's no line on here saying weed lien. It's classified under a delinquent tax. And that, I mean, it would help if you guys would put a line in there so whoever's getting the taxes would know what it was, really.
That's county business.
So I'll just suggest that for
So we're looking for $4,200, over $4,200 for the weed lien.
Well, and in support of this, the tax sales are a little different than auctions, than just an open auction, in that we've got that year period there that your owner can't go on the property, and of course whoever owned it previous has lost it. It's kind of a gray area there anyway.
It looks
And
like
another
they would
thing-
provide something in between, allow the
Yeah.
new owner to at least maintain the outside
Yeah.
or something.
Yeah, but the way the law states, you're not even allowed to go on the property,
No,
if I read the law right, yeah.
So we get stuck with having a hole.
Yeah, so we get stuck with it. I'm kind of one that's been keeping things stirred up on this, but I didn't understand the difference between a tax sale and a typical auction. And if you go to an auction, whether auction a piece of property, then you probably would see the liens, but these aren't showing up. Actually, you can own it, but you can't do nothing about
Well,
it.
these liens weren't on the property when he bought it as
These
tax
are
sale.
interval
That's true,
They
yeah,
were-
because of that year.
Yeah, but and
But
you're
if they would've
sending
been, they
you're
would've
sending
been
the
added
notice to the
tax
old owner
Property sale.
who's losing the property. Now,
Yeah.
to lose a property doesn't happen very often. Most people come in and redeem it. So you might, I don't know what, the treasurer could probably tell you what the percentage are that are actually not redeemed out of the total sale. I mean, maybe 10 out of 200 or something like that. I just haven't hit 2 of them. But it's difficult. They ought to rewrite the law to find out who's responsible to take care of the property during the interim.
Some,
I would
we've been
think it's the
working,
guy
we've been
who's
working with the
redeeming
state
it.
for years, trying to get them to rewrite the law.
Yeah,
And it's against us, because we have that year period that we have to take care of it.
right.
And then we get stuck with it if this happens. Well, what's your pleasure, Ward?
Where do these people on Fifth Street, where do they enter into this?
Actually,
They have
they
borrowed from
don't, in my opinion, because they're buying on a land contract.
They didn't buy it till just recently, did they?
Right, they just bought it recently.
Yeah.
So they have no bearing.
They are providing the property, and I went by it, and taking care of it, and putting it back into shape. I sold it to them for $5,000, so you can see that it wasn't a mansion. But they did put the property back on the tax roll, and it does improve the neighborhood because they're redoing it.
I think it'd be good to make note that, being it is a land contract, if those tenants did not take care of the property, it will go back to your responsibility. Am I not correct on that? Because he's
On
holding
a land
title.
contract, if he repossessed it, it would, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it's,
So
I
you
don't have
need
a
to-
problem with that.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm in the place of the guy losing it at the tax sale. I've got a year for him to pay for it, just like the guy had a year to redeem it.
Yeah.
And if they lose it, then it should go back to whoever those people were, but I understand. I just had this happen in Owen County, and there was no problem there, but the guy went bankrupt and moved to Florida, and I don't know how anyone ever keep track of him.
We have that trouble all the time.
Yeah.
Banks own them, banks in Arizona, we cut the grass, we get the letters back, it's terrible. That's why we question you so much. What's your pleasure, Board?
It's a best practice.
We give the weed lien back to him because it isn't his fault, he couldn't go on the property. We really need to go after the prior owner, but he already lost the property, I know he's not gonna pay it, so we just will forget it.
I'd make a motion to forgive the liens that are on 701 and 2850, 701 Fifth Street, is that right?
Yeah.
And 2859 Iowa.
I'll second.
Any more discussion up here? Anybody out there against it or for it? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? You got your lien liens reduced. Or
Okay,
left.
I've got one question. I'm quieting the title on the property because I'm selling it, like I said. And this lien will come up in the quieting of the, so how do I, who can provide me with?
She'll release it.
We'll get it released
Wait.
tomorrow.
Okay, that's what I need.
And if
to-
there's any question, the abstract company can call our office.
I appreciate it, I just,
Let me tell you the worst thing, we have to pay to put the lien on, and now we have to pay to take the lien off. So we not only lost the grass cutting, but we paid to put it on and take it off.
Well, you weren't allowed on the property. We was in there cutting your property for you. Makes no sense.
But you can take us to dinner or
I'm
something.
sure this is, I can do that.
No, we're not allowed to do that either.
Getting some more to
Back to the State House in
I have a
Camp
brother-in-law that owns 22 McDonald's, he can, you guys know.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Have a good day.
Thank you, Mr. Collins.
I'm ready for claims.
Mayor?
Yeah.
No.
Oh, wait a minute, we ain't ready yet. Who's first? Come on.
I got a request from the Centennial Committee,
Bicentennial.
Committee, Ron Wood, in about the 200 block of Nickel Avenue. You remember where Charlie's Shoe Shop used to be? Well, that, only half that block, there used to be an alley that ran from Grand over to Nickel on the backside there, but on Second Street, from Second to the middle of the block where the alley used to be, which is right next to Charlie's old place, they want to block that for the whole 10-day thing on the Centennial, Bicentennial for that week. But they want to have some kind of set up an archaeological dig at the vacant lot. There used to be a house there, but it burnt, they tore it down, it's a big lot, and they want to set up tents, and I don't know if it's a demonstration thing, is that what that is? or-
Actually, that's where the McCombs Pottery Shop was
Eddie.
located. And so he's gonna be,
You can't talk.
I gotta get up there, you gotta get up.
I've been wanting to get up here. And so he's gonna do a couple things there. One is he's gonna dig there where the pottery shop was to find maybe some artifacts, relics from the pottery shop. Secondly, he wants to have a place down there in a sand, where that foundation is.
Okay.
Where kids can go in there and dig and actually find some things and get some souvenirs to keep. So he'll have two things going on.
Is that gonna body the traffic flow?
No, because they have Second Street all the way up to Western Avenue to come out at the bottom of Third Street Hill. There's not that many, there's only a few houses there's only one house on 4 houses on the corner. They got plenty of access going in and out of there.
Does he own that property, Dave?
I don't know who owns that property.
I think McCombs.
McCombs?
The reason I ask, don't they have to have a permit before they can go in there and start digging?
He's taking care of all that.
That's private property, they're just asking us to close the street.
Yeah, all we need to do is close that street for the 10 days so they can do this.
What are we closing, Nickel Avenue?
No, we'll be closing, it'll be, Nickel Avenue from Second to just a half a block, not all the way to Third Street. It'd just be a half a block. And this is an old map, and there was an alley that used to run between Second and Third, going north, or east and west there, and of course, it's not there anymore. This is an old map they got from someplace. So, just need the board's permission to get that granted. I don't have a problem with it. It's not very heavily traveled anyway.
Will it be closed at Third Street? Will it be closed
Halfway to
at?
No,
Third,
it'd be closed on Nickel between Second and well, it'd be Third, but it's not, it's a half block. It won't even go all the way to Third.
Okay.
So
Behind
people,
Charlie's in back.
yeah, the Charlie's was right here. The people who live here in this house and this house will have access to their places, no problem.
Okay.
But it's only just for a half a block. So,
Anybody out there have anything to say about closing that alley? Or Nickel Avenue, excuse me? What's your pleasure, board?
I move we give permission to close Nickel Avenue during the bicentennial from,
June 28th,
yeah,
July 7th.
thank you.
I got that memorized down.
Thank you.
I'll second that, Your Honor.
Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right, you're next.
Thank you.
I thought you were just here because you like to be here.
Well, that too. I came here today thinking I was on the agenda. I had a conversation with Mike this morning. He said he couldn't be here today, and he had some, about 3 things that he wanted me to bring to the board. I came here thinking I was on the agenda and found out that I wasn't, and I think he thought that we were supposed to be on the agenda. But at any rate,
I'm sure he told me to put him on the agenda, and I forgot to tell Melissa, because Melissa would never forget to put him on the agenda, so I take the blame.
at any rate, he asked me if I could make a drawing. He said, I've got a picture in my mind of what I want to do, and that didn't do me a lot of good. He couldn't be here. And so don't laugh at my drawing, but the first quick thing I want to talk about is Rick Kopernik is going to come to town on Thursday, the 27th. He is the man who's going to do our laser light show on the 28th, the evening of the 28th. He was in town a few weeks ago. We took a lot of pictures and did a lot of measuring of things. Along 5th Street, there by the road that goes in, the lane that goes into the courthouse, just to the east of Burkhart's. And then in front of the parking lot, there's 2 parking spaces there. His equipment, he'll bring an RV and a trailer with his laser equipment. If he parks it in those 2 parking spaces, it will run over a little less than 30 feet beyond those parking spaces. He needs to park that equipment there late Thursday afternoon. It'll be there all day Friday. And then after the laser show, he'll pack everything up and he'll be gone out of there before Saturday morning. And so the request is to park that equipment beyond those 2 parking spaces. The 30-foot screen will be in, Mike wanted me to mention that, there will be a 30-foot screen suspended from 2 bucket trucks in that corner. The power for the equipment is there in the corner. There's a box there. He needs 200 amps.
We've already taken care of that.
Yeah, that's all taken care of. Then there'll be a 24-foot stage in the, let me get my directions, northeastern part of that parking lot, facing kind of to the southwest.
Flower bed is right there.
So the request is to allow him to park that beyond those parking spaces Thursday, late Thursday afternoon, early Thursday evening, through all day Friday, till late Friday night.
He's going to set up on Friday then all day, so I have to...
He'll be there all day Friday.
Chief, we need to close that parking lot then on Friday morning. Keep it closed all day, because he'll be setting up in...
He'll be in that corner, yeah, setting up in the bucket trucks.
Parking lot closed?
Yes.
Well, pretty much.
Yeah, it's a huge screen.
I know, but I didn't know if that part over there where.
Over by the courthouse, I'm not sure that would be a problem over there.
We'll have to work that out, because we'll have anybody hit his equipment. We'll work that out. I told Mike we would do this, but will the Board of Works give us permission to go ahead and do this?
Yeah, is there any safety issues with this
No,
name at all?
we got that covered. We got that.
Pardon?
There's no
insurance.
there's no
He's just gonna take 2 parking
hydrants.
places, right?
And about 27 feet beyond the parking spaces.
I don't think there'll be a problem there.
There's still about close to 90 feet in that turn.
Well, he's got to set up in that parking lot on Friday, because we're going to do that Friday night.
It only makes sense to let him park.
Yeah, we can arrange, we'll put some barricades or some cones out around that also. I don't see
He's
any
been here and
problem.
I've talked with him. He knows what we're doing.
Yeah, Mike just wanted to make sure that the board knew that was coming, so.
So we got to get
everybody was
permission. The
fine.
board's got to give us permission to close that for a temporary closure.
I'll make a motion, Your Honor, that we allow this gentleman to park his RV and equipment trailer Thursday evening or Thursday afternoon and all day Friday.
And to close the lot when,
And close the
whatever part's
lot.
necessary.
Never how you want to word it, because he needs to be there. That's just a convenience for him.
Yeah. To do his show, he has to be there, that's right.
What was the dates of that, Ed? You get
So
it?
He will arrive on the 27th.
The show's on the 28th after dark.
It's about a 30 to 40 minutes.
I'll second that. Give me a second. Let's get done.
Okay, everybody understand what we're doing? Okay. Anybody out there have a problem? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. That's a-
Thank you.
that's a
I'm gonna
pretty
tell
good-
Mike that the only reason this passes is because of the good job I did.
It really is.
Good drawing.
Don't quit your day job, Ed.
Okay. The other thing, and this probably is not much more than information, talking about in the park now on that Friday, the 28th, the Northwest Long Hunters will be setting up in Roberts Park. That's all been taken care of, and they'll dig some fire pits, and they are portrayers of late 1700s, early 1800s lifestyles. They'll do some crafts and things, and that's been done. But then the Civil War reenactors, because they call them reenactors because they do battles, and they'll be coming on Tuesday. And we found out now they're going to come on Tuesdays, at least some of them, and stay through Friday. And so they also will be wanting to use those fire pits, and it's the same group that comes down to Elmhurst, has been coming to Elmhurst. And when they're done, when they leave, the sod will all be put back and everything will be fixed back. But Mike wanted me to bring that up, bring it to your attention, make sure everything was upfront about it. There'll probably be about 6 to 10 tents set up there. Maybe not the whole time, but at least part of the time between Tuesday and Friday. They'll be staying through Friday night, they'll be participating in the parade, and then leaving after the parade, so.
We've already been through all that. We got permission of the fire chief to have those fires. He's gonna have it under control. You've been meeting with the safety committee.
It's just that it's extended now. In the beginning, I think they were going to be here 2 days, now it's maybe 4 days, and he just wanted me to make sure.
We're gonna have an insurance we're gonna be on their insurance, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'll be sure Mr. Baker or I get that.
Oh, the form,
Because
sure.
we don't have them. We've got the long hunters, but we don't have them. We'll need those on our insurance. I mean, we need a certificate that they have us on their insurance. Since they're having fires and shooting guns and cannons and without charge.
Okay. You'll take care of it. And then the last thing, this last weekend, well, let me say that, one of the plans for the finale of the celebration will be on Sunday evening, June the 7th. And what Jackie has planned to do is, I'm sorry?
July 7th.
Yeah, when I say June, I do that regularly. I wish all this was in 1 month. But not a whole month. But at any rate, what Jackie has planned to do is release 200, to commemorate the 200 years, floating luminaries, or I think they're called sometimes Chinese lanterns. This last weekend, Troy and Jackie and Mike and some others were up there.
Fire Chief Jim Reese.
Yeah, and they released those because there had been some concern about the safety of it. And I wasn't there, but Troy was. If Troy wants to say anything about,
We did it on Thursday night, actually, and
oh, it was on
we
Thursday.
used binoculars and tracked them, and they're not on fire very long. So we feel the wind directions and everything, they're not gonna stay in our area very long. But if the weather conditions, or we have a drought, we'll cancel them. But we didn't
We
see.
want them to all go to Wayne County.
That's what we're gonna do.
Don't put that in the paper, will you?
I don't want
Okay, that's all.
Thank you.
Thank you all very much.
Thanks, Ed.
And you wanted me to be back tonight?
Yes, you have to be here. If Mike's not coming, you need to come with your
Mike will not.
financial report tonight.
Okay. All
Did
right.
you get the financial report in their packets?
No.
Didn't get it in time.
Okay, thanks, Troy. Thank you.
Thank you. Good job.
Yes, sir.
Want to bring on another part-time employee.
As you know, we've hired a couple part-time employees on the fire department. I told him, I thought he didn't need permission. He's the fire chief. We've got in the contract that he can use part-time firemen, and after all, he only uses them and they only get paid when they work. So I don't think we need to give him special permission each time. He can maintain, unless you guys feel different.
I think part of the issue for Troy is with this new healthcare law.
Yeah.
We can't work them more than one shift a week.
It's not been determined yet, though, whether public safety is exempt from that. Now, I know the insurance company says they're not, But I'm being told that there's a possibility public safety is exempt because the shift is 24 hours long. So we're
But we
gonna have to
still
work
would
on
like to bring him on anyway, but this is gonna increase us wanting to open it back up.
We're just gonna need more part-time people.
How many do you have in your pool now?
There's 7 left, and of course, they're real busy with their full-time jobs too, so.
You'd like to have how many?
Well, I need to add this one, and then I need to open the hiring process back up. So, yeah, it really reduces overtime, like tonight, they worked 11 days last month, saving us about $3,870. So, I mean, it's working, but we're gonna have to have more of them, it looks like.
Yes, your overtime's in the 3,000 range, I think.
Yeah.
the last month.
I think we should give him permission to just do what he's gotta do and stay
Right.
within the law. And just report on it.
I think that's a good idea.
Not to have to come here every time he's going to hire a part-time person, I think. Unless you guys feel different.
Well, he doesn't necessarily need to come here, but I think we should be made aware of it.
Yeah, I'd like to know who they are.
Yeah. This
their
boy's name's
background.
Kyle Walton, he's out of Liberty, he has his firefighter 1 and 2, and also his EMT, he's finishing his test. He got his firefighter 1 and 2, he is not on any other departments. He got it through working with us. And he's put all of his time and his money into getting that, and really interested. He works for Fastenal up on 30th, so he stays in Liberty with his parents and then his grandparents here. So he wants to move to Connersville.
So you need a motion on that or
If you
not?
want to, that's fine.
It doesn't matter to me.
Go ahead. Make a motion to give him permission.
I'll make the motion to give him permission to hire another part-time firefighter, yes. I will.
Got a motion, and a second, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Makes you legal.
Thank you.
Thanks, Troy.
Anybody else?
I want to ask the chief some things.
Okay, go right ahead.
Weeds on 3rd Street, north side, midway up, they far exceed the city's limit. In fact, they're hanging over the sidewalk.
Okay.
And the house on the southeast corner of 3rd Street Hill, abandoned house, high grass. And also I've noticed more and more vehicles making a left-hand turn at the bottom of the hill onto Western Avenue. In fact, one of the vehicles I saw is a city-owned street department truck. There are 2 signs there which are really confusing. One says one way for that little street.
That's
The other one says no left turn, so I think people are confused when they come down the hill.
That's been a problem for a long time.
So how are we going to handle it?
Well, I will tell you what I've done 3 times already. When the reconstruction was going down at the bottom, they took those signs out. When they put them back, they put the one sign facing the wrong direction. If you come eastbound on 3rd Street Hill going down the hill, halfway down, there's a do not turn left sign at the bottom of the hill. There used to be one at the very bottom of the hill in the corner. It would be the northeast corner facing up the hill, so you saw it before you turned. That one's flipped the other way. I know it's for that over there, but they should be back to back. I've talked to State Highway signage 3 times. They've even been out there once and said, yes, it needs to be taken care of.
That'd be on the north side of the street then?
Yes.
I remember when the one was
Yes.
down at the bottom, you could see it.
Right, and when they put the signs back up after all the 3rd Street and 121 construction was done, that one did not get put back up. I called them within 2 weeks. We have nearly had 3 or 4 buses rear-ended. We've had semis come up on cars that are stopped there. We've seen, and I've called them 3 times. They told me last time they paid a visit, said it'd be taken care of, and it's still not.
Will you take care of it?
I'll go take a look at it, and take care of it. As far as the
If
house.
you don't know how to fix it, ask Jane, she'll tell you.
I can give you all the phone numbers you want.
I called them and actually talked to them myself, and they told me the same thing. They said they would be down since it is state, and they would take care of it, but I will call them since they've had
They
so
were
much.
actually here and there,
Right.
and looked
And
at it and said,
I've
we're
talked to them
gonna get the sign
personally, so,
taken care of, and it's still not.
I'll call them today as soon as I leave out of here and get back
Is that
home.
Mr. Kimmerly?
So-
No.
No, this was a lady I
It was a
talked
lady,
to,
yeah.
so I talked to her actually right before I went on vacation, so I'll give them another call and tell them we need to get it done as soon as possible because we're having some issues there.
She's right, it was done right, and then when they took them down for a long time, they didn't put anything up.
And then for a while, the one that's halfway down the hill, the tree limbs were hanging so far
Yeah.
down, you didn't see it, so no
It
one knew.
seems like that sign used to be more up toward in the middle of the hill, now it's just like it's at the bottom.
They went exactly to, it has to be this many feet from where it turns. Well, it may be that many feet from where, and within code, but it's not convenient. It's
Yeah.
not, there's logic and then there's what's in the books.
There's really not time to respond where that
Right.
sign says.
Sorry, John.
But our
I know
one-way
that's
street
probably-
can be put,
I know.
no, we can't do that.
That's really confusing.
It is
with it.
confusing,
It's
yeah.
with points one way, and
Yeah.
I don't know what to do about that, but very few people on the hill turn south on into that.
Yeah, it's kind of awkward to turn to the right, turn south
Right.
because of the way the street's laid out.
And it's really confusing when it points one way north and people turn north on Western.
Okay, Joe Walkie always took care of Third Street Hill. He's not able to do that. You need to have your men take care of Third Street Hill above the sidewalk and sweep the sidewalk.
Yeah, that's a mess up
We've
there.
done that this spring
The
already.
north-
I know, but you gotta do it about every 2 or 3 weeks.
We didn't have
Because
to get an
people-
address on that house up there, did you?
It's
I'll
on
find
the,
it.
it's on the
It's at the top.
bottom, it's the bottom of the hill.
It's the bottom of the hill?
Southeast corner, yeah.
Southeast.
It's an empty
It's
house,
a band, phone.
Okay.
abandoned, yeah.
All right.
Oh, we've cut that before.
Yeah, we've tended to, but
Well, we
it,
tore one house down up there.
Yeah, it's right
This-
next to
this is
that.
Next to that.
or, Yeah,
yeah, I think it's right next to it.
Blackie Rowland used to live there.
It's bad.
Yeah.
The on-point construction guy that wants to dig up the streets, where does that stand? Have you heard
Right,
from him?
we talked to Brad Wilson, our insurance representative, and he recommended a construction bond in the amount of $25,000, and that's what we have.
So has he given it to you?
Yes,
Everything's okay with him then?
it is.
Okay.
Plus, we're included on his liability insurance carrier, workers' comp, auto liability, and so on, as an additional insurer.
We're just gonna have to follow through and find out who's gonna do the inspection when they're done. We can keep that in mind.
You say the small totes are expected any day?
They should be here within the next few days, yes.
Okay. And finally, the swimming pool opens Friday, weather permitting. It's supposed to be in the 60s, but
We're filling the pool today, I think.
good.
I was there this morning, they were getting ready to turn it on.
Sounds good.
Just so all knows that we're picking up trash Monday, so everybody knows that.
Yeah. Monday is a holiday, but you know, except for Christmas and Thanksgiving, we pick up trash on holidays, so Monday will be trash day as usual. If it's your trash day, we'll be picking up trash Monday. You make that clear in the paper. Make it black and white.
About the radio.
Yeah, put it on the radio, people will see it there too.
Put it on the radio.
You can put yours in the collar.
Can we have the claims?
I guess.
I never seen, an hour ago I was trying to end it.
Utilities, water is $67,995.12. Sewer is $87,946.48. Stormwater is $9,141.39 for a total of $165,082.99.
I noticed we had a lot of stone hauled up to Lawrence Building. Is that the
Building that
base
parking
part
lot.
of the?
Parking
Okay.
lot.
And I noticed that we spent some money for clothing for the DOT people. I thought we had clothing allowance. They covered most of that.
We buy their safety
Buy their
clothing.
uniforms.
Okay. Okay. Claims 354, can you believe that?
Yeah.
$159,839.74. A lot of claims, 15 pages of claims. Julie, that's your fault.
Actually, there were 1 through 3 weeks and done with this.
No, it's
I
just
don't know.
2. It's
Just a lot of small purchases in it, is what it was.
Frey and I,
Well, I'll tell you, it's a lot of
we just
repairs.
process them, we don't spend it all.
It's a lot of repairs and buying parts. All of our equipment is old,
Yeah.
and we're just constantly buying parts
Yeah, I
to
don't see
fix
how
it.
Phil keeps all that stuff running.
We got weed eaters, we got lawnmowers, and Okay, you've heard the claims. Any further discussion or question? What's your pleasure?
I move that we accept the claims as stated.
I'll second.
Any discussion? Anybody out there? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Claims are approved. Any further discussion, anything to come? Wait just a minute, I think I have a couple of things I have to say. I'm going to say a couple of times, I would like to ask people to please take their trash containers back off of the street after you pick up your trash. Please cut your grass and clean up. We're only about 40 days away from thousands of visitors coming to Connersville. And the streets will be started to be blacktopped here just shortly. And we ask that everybody cooperate with the blacktop people, especially when the street department comes around and asks if they can trim your trees, because sometimes we have to trim the trees to get the machine underneath them. Anything else? I'm ready for a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Got a motion on the floor to adjourn. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Meeting adjourned.